Well, Sky Squad, we got some things to talk about today, okay? As you guys can see, the headline reads, is Porsha Williams leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Woo! We got to talk about a lot of things today, okay? Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell button, and join the texting community so I can send you a text message as soon as a new video drops. Now, before we get into the Porsha story, I want to take you on over to the neighborhood talk because we did learn yesterday that Wendy Williams had been allegedly voluntarily admitted for a psychiatric evaluation to a New York hospital. Okay. Now, I had been reading about this yesterday afternoon. I was doing some running around yesterday and I was trying to, get my life together before I head to New York for the weekend. But it's been an interesting road. And we talked about this yesterday about how, the show had been, moved to October 4th. And I questioned whether or not that date was going to work, because literally, if you're dealing with, either asymptomatic, a person who is asymptomatic with the panorama or not, you just don't know what that recovery process is going to be like. But now finding this out, it really causes me some more concern about whether or not that October 4th date will still stand, because that's literally about 2 more weeks away, right? So here's what they have to say. They say she was voluntarily admitted to the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation after it was announced that she had suffered from the pandemic. Okay. She's allegedly already been vaccinated. According to, I don't know if it was TMZ, but she was admitted after struggling with some mental health issues for some time. And the source claimed that it's been very difficult for Wendy. She's single, she has very few friends, and she lost her marriage, her mom, and is living alone. And before adding that there is a lot on her plate. I don't necessarily know, especially after this, if that October 4th date will still stand. What I will say is this, again, once, as we stated earlier, we will continue to wish her well. We're going to pray for her and speak life into the situation, because, it's hard. And I also think that given her pre-existing conditions, which she's been very open about, it probably could be something that just definitely scared her a lot more. And it's probably a lot more difficult to process than any of us realize. So y'all just keep y'all hands in prayer up for Wendy Williams at this time. If anything else pops up, we'll definitely talk about it, in a very hopeful way, of course. And again, shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk for, getting this story out to the people. Now, I want to move on over into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I want you guys to look at this cast here, okay? Is this a cast that you feel will be successful in carrying season 14 on through to new heights? Okay. What you guys see here is Porsha. You see Kenya Moore. You see Marlo. You see Sheree. You see Drew Sidora. And this is allegedly the cast for season 14, with a mystery woman who we will talk about in just a bit. We've got some tea on that. Okay. So where did all this come from? Where did this story come from? Let's take it on over to where we first got it from. So, starting off, before we even got to that, we had some interesting, I don't want to call it tea from Sheree Whitfield. She posted this to her IG stories and she said, fall is coming and the shade is at a high. This was something that was posted on, a bunch of sites covered it, and it led for a lot of people thinking that maybe Sheree would be coming back this fall, as everyone has been predicting. Okay. Numerous sites have predicted this. And then she posted this. Okay. And so what I was wondering was, okay, was she making this face at the fact that that PORSHA would be leaving the show? I don't know. We can only speculate at this point, and I have to preface this before I move forward. This is all speculation and we go through this every season, but it's kind of fun. But we do go through this every season about who's going to return and who's not going to return. So we'll just continue to watch and see how things pan out. But for right now, this is the word on the street, and I want you guys to take it as such. This is the word on the street, okay? Now, then we get this, okay? This post right here from All Over Anthony on Instagram. So who is All Over Anthony on Instagram? So Anthony Dominic is an Emmy-nominated news producer and former entertainment journalist. Now it says former on his Instagram page, but when you go to various online sites, they still list him as, an entertainment journalist. But if you go to his LinkedIn page, it does say Emmy-nominated news producer and content market writer at Data Miner. So I don't know if that still stands about the Data Miner part, but that's the tea on this person. So I wanted to give you that bit of information so you have an understanding of where this information is coming from, not just from some random source, okay? So he says this: I'm told PORSHA is not returning. The cast will be New Girl, Drew, Marlo, Candy, Kenya, Sheree, possible cameos from past cast members. Now, what I want you guys to know is that there's this. Previously in the week, we had talked about a news story that came from Tamara Tattles. And I will place all these links down in the description link below so that you guys can go back and read each one of these articles and sources and see exactly what I'm talking about. But we talked about the story from Tamara Tattles, wherein the site had mentioned that there was another shakeup that was allegedly going on, and that there could even be the potential for some pop-ups from some people that we have already previously seen, right? In addition to Sheree. So that gels with this story. This also gels with a story coming from July 14th, I believe, from Love B. Scott, that mentioned that PORSHA was kind of on the fence about whether or not to return to the show, especially since she had gotten her spinoff. Now, I will place the link for that story down in the description link below as well. And I wanted to talk about this story last night, but I also wanted to sit with it and try to figure out all the intel that I could before I did a video on it, so that I would have a little bit more meat and substance to give you guys this morning. And in doing my research, I've been just going down this rabbit hole. And let me tell you something, it gets even more interesting. So if you continue on, Anthony Dominic posted this in his IG stories. It said, PORSHA is not returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta because she has her own show, a special that focuses on her new relationship and family. Then it says Real Housewives of Atlanta is set to film in October 2021 and premiere in April of 2022. Now, typically a show like Atlanta will film for about, it could vary, because I think that Real Housewives of New Jersey this season filmed only for like maybe 2 to 3 months. And I believe that they're coming out in November from the word on the street. Again, word on the street. All right. So if we take October, November, December, January, and maybe we even add in or throw in a February, and then that gives time for editing, and it gives time for maybe even a February, March, trailer or something like that. Who knows? But that could work. This timeline does look like it could work. And also, too, this subject was trending on Twitter. And I did check. You go over to Twitter, Real Housewives of Atlanta is trending. And PORSHA is trending with this news. It says here, Real Housewives of Atlanta fans discuss the possibility that PORSHA Williams will not be returning to the series after entertainment reporter Anthony Dominic shared the news on his Instagram story. So there's that, okay? This story is being reported all over the place. So to take things a step further, let's get into some more tea. So what I did, just kind of scrolling through, and someone that I follow on Instagram, and let me make sure I like this post because I want to, always show support and love. Mr. Jerome Trammell, who is a media personality and TV producer, okay, posted this story as well. Now, if you look in the comment section, because she's someone that I also follow, it popped up. Claudia Jordan posted this in the comment section and said, I know the new cast member. Hint, I follow her and she's in the history books. Okay? I follow her and she's in the history books. So who could that be, Claudia? Who is it, Claudia? Make sure you guys also follow Mr. Jerome Trammell if you have not done so. He gives a lot of great commentary on pop culture and a lot more, okay? So I just want you guys to go there as well because he's somebody that I feel like he's got a voice, and that voice is powerful. Now, having said that, Claudia, who is the new girl? Who is she? You said she's in history books, but who is she really? For what? What does she do? Why is she in the history books? She's obviously in Atlanta. So we need some intel. We need some intel, Claudia. Give us some more clues. Give us some more hints, Gap. But that's the on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 casting. It's important to note that this also basically rules out the idea that Cynthia Bailey would be returning to the show. Now, we had previously been talking about that. It's probably, to me, one of the only thing that makes sense. So don't fear, though. Never fear, because what I want you guys to also know is, I'm going to pull this up. I want you guys to see this as well so that you don't feel too bad about Miss Cynthia Bailey. She will be returning to your television screens very soon because she will also be featured on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, which you guys can see the promo for here on Peacock. And they've basically come out with, a nice little, y'all know how they do those promo photos. It's coming this fall, allegedly November. So we will be seeing Cynthia Bailey this fall, and you will have your feel of Miss Cynthia Bailey as well. So there's the news on that. Let me know what your thoughts are about this situation. It seems to me that, if I were PORSHA, and it seemed like PORSHA was checked out for much of the season last season as well. To me, she really was not interested in it. And it would seem to track that she may not want to, really put her relationship in that arena, given the sort of controversial nature of how it came about. And it also would seem that, if she's in a happier place, she may not even want to engage in that type of drama, And to be honest with you, I would say this. I'd say that PORSHA has an entertaining enough personality to carry her own show, but we'll have to wait and really see exactly how that pans out when the show actually premieres or when we get a trailer or anything like that at any point in time soon. And if the network can still keep PORSHA on, if that spinoff does well, then it's a win for everyone, maybe except Real Housewives of Atlanta, because who knows how the show is going to turn out. But I do think this, and I will say this. For me, I wouldn't be totally upset about this because I kind of feel like PORSHA probably needed to move on anyway, because ultimately, I don't really think she had any true friends in that cast, outside of maybe Drew Sidora. But, the hard part about that situation is, her and Marlo ended the season not friends. And her and Kenya, I don't believe they would ever be friends. So it just doesn't make any sense for the two of them to continue to try to go around the mulberry bush with this whole situation. And, you know, I say just move on. Let's clean the slate and let's start anew. And they need to, this new person, they need to bring that energy. They got to bring that Atlanta, that Southern Belle type of charm, and they got to be able to roll with this group of women, because this is a, you know, as they used to state it back in the day, I forgot who said it. It was from one of the Real Housewives of New York. You know, I run with a fabulous group of friends. They've got to be able to bring that fabulosity. So with that being said, that's the news that we got, you guys. I am traveling to New York today. So if anything pops off with regards to maybe a statement from the network or PORSHA or whomever, I'll do my best to try to, you know, get a hold to it and talk to y'all when I get to New York. Otherwise, we will catch you guys in the next video.